Welcome to a exercise ball series. This is part 2 of 4. I'm Jennifer Wagner with Collective Wellness. This is part 2, so it's all lower body for this part. They are in 4 parts. So I already did upper body, and you'll have the link to that. And then there's going to be a core and a stretching part. You can do these individually, or you can put them all together for a full body workout. So, before we get started, everyone's kind of jumping in. Might have a few people that I do these in 4-part series or 3-part series that you can get access to either when I do go live or as a recording, and you can do it as often as you want. My last series was a ballet bar, and then right now, obviously, is the ball. So real quick, one thing that's not going to be as important for this session, but when you are using a ball, you want to have about a 90-degree angle in the knee when you are sitting down. And then we're going to be doing a squat option, and I will show you between this option or a one-legged option squat too. So make sure you listen to your body. Do what works for you. And again, I will always show modifications. So let's get started. Oh, before we get started, make sure you click that subscribe button so you do not miss anything. I don't want you to miss a workout. That way you can do them all together. And they are, again, going to be linked together between at the end of the workout or in your description. So let's start with a squat. I'm going to start with just the regular squat, feet are hip width apart. I'm turned sideways just so you can see me, but we're going to squat and we're going to tap the ball with our hips and then go right back up. So this is one option. Chest stays lifted, knees are staying straight forward. Put your heels into the floor. And there is your squat. You can stay with that, or if you want to challenge yourself more, put one leg on and doing one-legged squat like this. And I'll keep track of the clock. If you're doing one-legged, I'll let you know when we're going to switch, but stay with the first version if you need to. Good. Keep the chest open. Hips are back. When you're doing squats, you should be able to wiggle your toes. The weight's on the back half of your feet, not necessarily into the heels, but not into your toes either. Let's do one more if you're doing one leg, and then switch. So if you're doing one leg, switch it out and sit down. So with the one leg, it's all in. This is the working leg, so you have balance going on. So the cool thing about the ball is that you always have that coordination and balance, and the core is firing up with it too. So it gives you those extra challenges. Let's do a few more. One more right here, make it count. And okay, next one is for inner thighs. Every time I have my clients do this, they're like, what are we doing? But trust me, it works great. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna come behind your ball and you're going to get on your horse. Getting on your horse. Now, from there, depending on balance, you can have your toes, if you can see, I'm gonna turn just a tiny bit so you can see a little better. I am on my toes, but if you need more balance, put the inside of your feet on the floor. But either way, your knees should be straight down. They should not be in front. This is a very common error for this. And the reason for that is because, don't fall, the reason for that is that you're not going to get those muscles working. So make sure those knees are straight down. And then from here, inner thigh, squeezing the ball and release. Nice and tall. Good. This is usually where I tell my clients to name their horse that you're riding. And of course, they look at me funny. Again, you can be on your toes or the inside of your feet, down, and we're just squeezing and releasing. Feel that right through the inner thighs on both legs. That ball should be moving. If you look down, you should see movement in that ball from squeezing. Doing great. Don't forget to breathe. This ball is forcing you to balance too. Obviously, if you don't keep control of your core, you're going to be rolling around. So keep that in check for your posture. We're going to change it up. You're going to squeeze and hold, but keep breathing. Now, just like the horse, you're going to ride the horse. It's a pulse. So if you ever have ridden a horse, this may be very familiar, but it's just a pulse. Squeeze the ball and release. Squeeze the ball and release. 3, 2, and go. Okay, so you're going to take your hands on the ball, brace yourself, walk your feet front. We're going to do a little stretch real quick with that. So toes and knees are turned out. Take your hands to your inner thighs and then just press back. Feel that through the inner thighs there. There you go. Inhale and exhale. In a second, we're going to be getting down to the floor. We're just transitioning from the standing to the floor. Okay, go ahead and I have my mat here. You don't have to have a mat, just depends on your surface space. We're going to be working the outer thigh. So what I'm doing is I have my a space for my a surface for my knee so that I don't slide around. Because you're going to put the ball right up against the hip. Make sure it's nice and snug, and then you're going to lean into it, and then your outside leg is going to come out. Now, depending on your ball and your comfort level, you might be here, where if you see how I'm not really laying into the ball, or you can bring yourself even further down, which feels more comfortable for a lot of people if you're not used to balancing. So what you're going to do is that leg should be straight out, and you're going to be lifting it up and down without letting it touch the floor. So you're going to go right back up, and I want you to feel that through the outer thigh. Now, we already did those squats, so your tush, you're probably already feeling the tush working. If you need more bracing, you could always put your hand down to the floor too. But the idea is that you have this ball holding you up, and then you're working through that outer leg. So whatever position works best for you. Good. This one always feels the lactic acid building. That burning. It's a good burn, I tell you. Okay, and you're going to lift up. Now pulse up. Woo! Stay with me. See if you can get a little higher. Can you get higher? Breathe. Hips are perpendicular. They're pointing straight up and down. Come on. Now without stopping, down and up. That's the hardest part. 3, 2, one more, and down. Whew. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to let yourself shift to the side. You're going to sit off to that hip. Okay, we're going to stretch that hip out, and then you're going to walk the ball the opposite direction. Feel that in the outer hip. You're doing great. Go ahead and come up, and then we're going to switch sides. We've got to even ourselves out here, right? So put the ball up against your body, and then lean into it and out to the side. Or you can drop down further. So depending on your comfort level, okay, make sure that leg is straight out, and then up and down. Good. Again, you have this option too. Make sure your hips are perpendicular. Lift that leg up. Now, because this leg was already a stabilizer, you're going to feel it right away. Check your core. Are your abs pulled in? Breathe. This one we don't do quite as long just because we were already working this muscle. All right, now up and pulse. Whew. Feel it right through here. Lift a little higher. It might be dropping. Okay, now singles for 4 more. Right here. Stay with it. 4, 3, 2, and down. Good job. Push yourself off. This hip shifts off to the side, and then walk your ball to the other side. Little stretch. Good. And come on up. Okay, now on the floor. So head's going to go this way. Ball's over here. We're going to do some hamstring curls. We're going to get to the back side. So you're going to come on down. Your calves and your heels are on the ball. You're going to have your legs out straight. Toes are straight up. You're going to lift your hips up off the mat. Keep them there. So we're going to go into these phases. If this is where you're at and you got to stay here, that's fine. The next one, keeping your toes straight up to the sky still, you're going to pull in and back out. Good. Keep those hips off the floor. If you need to drop your hips in between as a modification, that's okay. But do try to keep your toes up. That's when you're really going to get those hamstrings contracting. So toes and knees are pointing towards the sky the whole time. You got it. We're almost there. Woo, hips up. Can you get those hips a little higher? Hips higher, hips higher. Feel those hamstrings. Those are the back of the thighs. And you're going to feel a tush too. Let's do 4 more right here. Then we're done. 4. Make it count. Don't give up. 3, 2. Finish strong. Woo, and down. Okay, feet are flexed. Little stretch. Stack one foot on top of the other. Feel that in the back of the thighs. If you want more of a stretch, you can bring the leg up to the sky. Push your heel to the sky. Go ahead and switch. Just these are little stretches. You could always do more on the end, or like part 4. Go ahead and bring that leg up if you want to go higher. Part 4 of the ball series, we'll do a full body stretch. And release. That is the end of ball, lower body ball. Please leave comments, suggestions, ideas. I love them. Again, I'm Jennifer Wagner. Don't forget to subscribe, that little picture of me, whichever side it's on. And then you'll also see a link to one of the parts. So go ahead and click on that too, and you get the other parts of the series. Have a wonderful day. Take care.